do have a written question, which is, how are we going to retain and get young people involved in the community? And again, I'll start with this emergency, and you can just pass it on down. How do we get young people to stay in this community?
The trend has been that, and this is ever since I was a little boy, a little kid, when our mayor first got into office, the trend has been kids graduate high school, they move away to go to college, and then they move even further away to get a job. And it's employment driven in many respects. So one of the ways that we need to address that is we need to stimulate our local economy here. We need to come up with ways, and I have ways. I have ideas on how we initiate that, but that's one of the single biggest factor. The other thing is entertainment and quality of life. I shouldn't lump those two things together, but quality of life is a big part of this, folks. And the cost of living here, that's another part of it. And another part of it, I mean, I guess I could list things off all afternoon, but our housing issue that we have here in Superior, young professional families, when they want to move into our area, oftentimes they pass over Superior for Duluth or the surrounding area because there is not quality housing that's available for them to move into. So one of the things we need to do is improve our existing housing stock. And again, going back to the grant proposal, how I want to have more visibility on those grants. We used to have a grant-funded program here in Superior that incentivized people to improve their personal property. So say they wanted to put new siding on, new windows, if they wanted to insulate. There was grant subsidies for these people to do this, because like I said before, and you all know this, we're a working class community. So a lot of us can't afford to do things like put new siding on our homes or improve our personal property. So I want to bring back programs like that are going to improve, the mayor talked about image. It's going to improve the overall image, and it's going to improve the individual housing stock so we can retain people and attract new people into our city. So it's not, if you actually, I probably don't have much time left, but one of the problems is we have a bubble of the population that's going to university here in Superior. And that bubble, it just turns over every 4 years. And that indicates exactly what the question is asking. Those people are just leaving the area. So it's not necessarily about retaining our youth. It is about that, but it's also about attracting new quality working and middle class families into the area. It's going to require both things.
I agree with Greg. Wisconsin and Superior, we've had a historical brain drain going on in the entire state. The exodus or nexus points, if you will, when I graduated from high school, it was Minneapolis, Milwaukee, Denver, and Phoenix. Now it's grown to Atlanta and so forth. The issue here is we educate our children very, very well in Wisconsin, but they have not found the opportunities, or they don't like the weather. That's been part of the problem. It's historical. I was on a Blue Ribbon Commission back in the early 90s. It was labor business. I remember Phil Neuenfeld was on there, and Marty Beal, and Jim Bulkin from WMC and so forth. Well, what we brought to the legislature and the administration at that time was a program that would stop the brain drain, that would help stop it, I should say. What it was is if you are educated in Wisconsin in either a 2-year or 4-year college, in the curriculum field that you are striving to be employed in, and you work in Wisconsin for 5 years, all of your debt would go away, your college debt or your 2-year debt. The reason we brought that up was if you're here for 5 years, you've established your roots, and you're likely to have a good time with regard to your environment and so forth and your livability. We thought it would work, but I think it's on some dusty shelf in Madison today. But as far as the young professionals, Superior has been very very fortunate in the last year and a half to grow a young professional group of people. There's probably over 100 of them now. They meet regularly, education, social, and so forth. I'm going to tell you a story about the young lady sitting next to me. She called me 3 years ago, said, "I'd like to get involved." I said, "Well, let's have coffee." So we did at Brookins, and she said, "Is there anything I can do to get on a commission, a committee, or whatever?" She said, "Someday I want your job." And I said, "Well, that's fine, you know." And I drove away from there, and I'm back to the office, and I'm thinking and thinking and thinking. I couldn't, in my mind, think of one single young person on any commission, committee for the city of Seattle. So I appointed Kaylee. And since then, I have appointed about 6 or 7 more young professionals. So it's important, and they're going to help us grow this community with regard to solving that problem.
Thank you, Bruce. I appreciate that. Bruce is a wonderful friend of mine, and it was that call that got us together, and I am so thankful for what he's taught me over the last few years. I do still want your job. That hasn't changed.
Maybe not this time.
I am passionate about young professionals and attracting and retaining them, because what am I? I'm a young professional. I am so excited that we got Superior Young Professionals Organization in Superior. I've been there since day one. I have a blast. They bring new, energized meetings and get-togethers for us here in Superior. And we're able to meet other people like us. It's hard with our area. We don't have a lot to do unless you go downtown or you meet someone at work. Other than that, there's not really great places to get together with people your age. And that's an issue for us here in Superior. I also think another thing with family or young professionals is the family aspect. We do not have family activities to do in the winter time. We have parks and such during the summer times. We also have a lot of sports activities to do year round. But some families just aren't into the sports, and we need to bring young professionals, older families, grandmas and grandpas together to build a community that's family oriented. Housing is a big factor. We have a lot of housing out there that is not adequately built or maintained. It's not affordable quality housing that we need, and so that we need to make a push towards getting that so that we can keep those young professionals here in Superior. They're looking to buy homes. We need to give them homes that they can be able to buy. Jobs is another issue. We need to bring in more jobs. We need to bring in big business, industry, small businesses. We need to encourage young professionals to establish their small business here, right in town for us. We need to also work with UWS, WITC, North Force, and find out how we can make sure that these young professionals have the skills that we need in order to get the job in Superior. As Bruce said, that's our problem, is we don't have that skilled labor force, so we need to be working with UWS and WITC to make sure that we have that. North Force is a great opportunity to partner with them and find out, they know what skills that these jobs are looking for. So with all of us together, I think that we can create a future in the job market. I also hope that me running for office is going to inspire some young professionals to really get involved. Like Bruce said, I was one of the first young professionals in the city level, and I take great pride in that. I think that we're the future, and we need to step up and we need to make a difference at this time.
So I have a little bit different view on why people decide to move here or stay. About a little over 10 years ago, I was finishing my service in the United States Marine Corps, and I finished that service in Hawaii. And I decided to move back here while winter was coming. Part of the reason I did that is I enjoy woods and waters and seasons and this place. Young professionals, young people in this generation look at the world differently than they have for the last several generations. People don't move to live places to find a job. They're not living someplace to work there. People want to live places that are great places to live. And in that respect, we have a lot to offer here. And I like to feel that I've been a part of that solution, and it's why we're seeing so many young professionals putting down roots and investing in this community and being active. A lot of people here have already talked about why it's when young people should lead. I've been a young person leading for more than 5 years. I was 27 years old when I first ran for the county board, and I received a lot of support from a lot of community leaders, and I've encouraged other people to jump in. I see our university representative on the county board is here today. I'm very proud to have created that position when I was in college, and I was the first one to serve in it. The Superior Young Professionals is an outstanding group that doesn't just show the commitment of young people to the future of this area, it shows the way forward to keep people here, to bring people here, and that young professionals are intent on being part of the solution and part of the future. I'm very proud that my wife is on the board of that organization. I'm very proud that my class from the Superior Douglas County Leadership were some of the founders of that organization. It was our service project, or one of our service projects. I worked on Healthier Douglas County. So I want you to look at why people are already coming here, why they're choosing to stay here, and that's what we need to enhance. The quality of life that we have here, the things that we're already offering, make this a great place to live. And not only will people come and choose to live here, but they'll make an impact, and they will focus on helping us move the economy forward. I don't want to create a better economy for young professionals or young people moving up. I want them to help us make the economy that they want to live in, because they're the ones that are going to inherit it. And right now, if you look around, they're taking charge already. I'm part of that solution. I've been proud of it. And last thing I want to say is, if you really want to see young professionals take charge of the future, couldn't hurt to elect one.
No plug there. I don't know what you'd call me. I'm not a young professional. I'm not an old one either, but so hopefully there's a group in between. A lot of the things that were said, I agree with, such as infrastructure improvement. We need more housing here. Of course, the jobs. Now, there was a conference that was held this last fall over at Duluth, put on by NBC Bank, and one of the things they talked about is retaining people. The outlook right now is grim for people staying here, not only in Superior but also in Duluth. So one of the things they had mentioned is, again, having the communities be friendly to them, invite them here. As far as our education goes, we have wonderful schools here. We have WITC, we have UWS, and WITC has actually converted some of their programs to accept these new businesses, growing businesses, such as their welding program, their composite program, as far as any type of, hopefully soon when the airplane manufacturer gets here, that they'll be able to jump right in and work for them. Just one more other thing is, I just want to stress, there is a family event today down at Barker's Island that the city is sponsoring, as well as others. So go down there, take your family down. There's going to be ice skating, there's going to be just different family events. So take advantage of that. Thank you.